If you've been following Wiggles on her first channel, then you probably know our story. But this story is all about Wiggles. This is on the timeline of just before we met up into right after adoption. She was a rescue dog. She's a Morkie, which is part Yorkshire Terrier and Maltese. And she was rescued from an animal shelter in 2023 by the people at Friends of Rowlett Animals. And they're located in Rowlett, Texas. And I was told that when they found her, she was 3 pounds underweight and she was sick with half of her hair missing, the bottom half, total just baldness from some sort of a mystery rash that they were still trying to figure out. So it was very understandable why she was scared and she was shattered. I'm sure she felt let down and she was cold, lost. It's understandable why she was on the defensive side of life. But she was healing and she was on the last stretch of her meds and her hair was growing back when I met her on our first visit. It was just thin. Her energy, I was told, was increasing. She was feeling better. And the shelter called her Roxy. I wasn't sure. Yeah, that's all they knew. I wasn't sure if that's the name that the animal shelter gave her or if that was her legit name. And it was unfortunate because the animal shelter lost her paperwork. So everything about her condition, her background, all of that um, is like it's a mystery, and anything else into the future is all just guesswork. So, Friends of Rowlett Animals, they have a policy, and that all healing needs to be done, all medicines need to be taken, any surgeries, spay or neuter surgeries, all those procedures need to be complete before adoption. So, we arranged to meet and visit for her first visit, which actually turned into 3 visits before adoption. So that was nice. The first meeting though, it was so funny. Wiggles on the defensive, and me being a stranger. That all in its own was a delicate situation to say the least. And her foster mom, uh, you know. She first let her explore the house, and then we went outside and let her explore the backyard. And I didn't want to force anything, I just walked around. I didn't try to pick her up. I didn't try to get in her face. I just let her do her thing. And when she got comfortable and we sat on the couch, she jumped up in her foster mom's lap, and her foster mom was like, "You want to hold her?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I was nervous, but I was also really excited because I fell in love with her the moment I saw her. The moment I saw her photo, I knew she was it. And that is also that story is in our story on her first channel. Which, if you're curious about the link to that, you can go into her description, and it's under short form video or shorts, and you can click on that link and find that story. So anyway, like I was saying, everything's going well, and she's checking me out. She's smelling my breath. She's smelling my eyes because that's just the thing that she likes to do. But I needed to shift my body. And so when I did that, it caught her off guard. She didn't know what I was doing. And she looked up at me and she growled. Oh my gosh, did she growl? And I looked up at her foster mom. Her foster mom's eyes were as big as silver dollars. I just started laughing. And I'm like, oh, we're going to be just fine. Don't worry. We're going to be just fine. And, I picked my hands up. I backed my arms away from her. And I said, whoa, it's okay. And she settled back down and finished her visit. And the next 2 visits after that just became more positive and more positive. And yeah, I even got to spend a few hours with her alone on our second and third visit. So that was a huge help. And I was told that her meds were almost done. And as soon as that happened, that she was going for her space surgery, and then we could go through with the adoption process. But we were looking at like 3 more weeks. And honestly, I thought I was gonna lose my mind because like I said, I fell in love with her immediately. Waiting 3 weeks was almost crushing, I was even missing her, so, what happened after that was so surprising. It was like 1 week, um, I do believe 1 week. No, no, I'm sorry, it was a few days after our last visit that I received a call from her foster mom, and she was asking if it was okay if we could speed up the process because apparently there was some emergency situation and they needed to take in a rescue and they didn't have the room and they needed that kennel. So she would drop her off at the vet for her spay surgery and I would pick her up and just let her heal with me. And so I I I immediately jumped on that. So, um, her surgery didn't really go as planned. There were some hiccups. Her heart rate was way down and she wasn't reacting well to the meds. Small dogs, it can be very difficult with that sort of thing. And, at one point there was talk of her having to spend or to stay overnight at the vet. And I was so worried for her. I even dropped off a pillow and a blanket so that the smell of the house and the comfort and warmth from the pillow and the blanket would hopefully help her if she had to stay the night. But, like, out of the blue, that evening, like, right before the vet closed, we got a phone call and they were asking if we were okay to come pick her up, that she was reacting to the meds and she was doing much better, and I said, "Yeah, great," so, went to the vet, picked her up, and I was excited, but I was really nervous because she was swollen and she was miserable after that surgery, and I was really worried for her. She was in pain and she was whimpering, I could tell. So, I set up a playpen for her so she could stay in one area and feel safe, and I refused to leave her side. I even slept on the couch right next to her so she wouldn't feel alone, and even during the days that followed, I stayed by her side. She wouldn't eat, so I had to give her cream and broth, a little bit of bacon, but I finally got her eating, encouraged her to eat, and she actually healed quicker than they estimated. But I also had a grounding pad, and she laid on that grounding pad. She just naturally gravitated towards it and would lay on that grounding pad all day, all night. And after she healed, I started cooking her meals and giving her a more healthy meal plan. And so that really did help. Her coat started growing back even faster and got very shiny. And soon after, it didn't take long. We started going on little adventures. Now, I was healing from multiple surgeries at that time. So I think for both of us, we just needed that slow, gradual progression into a more active lifestyle. And so we started having more adventures, taking her shopping, car rides, and just loving life. The craziest part about this is that one day while we were shopping, a woman, she like literally ran up to me and she was asking if um, Wiggles was my dog. And yeah, I said yes. And she then asked what her name was. And I didn't think anything of it. People ask me these questions all the time. So I told her Wiggles. And and at that point, Wiggles started sniffing of this woman really hard. And then the woman asked, because she had this confused look on her face, but then she asked if her name used to be Roxy. And I was like, whoa. I was floored. My mind started racing with all kinds of questions. And before I could even say anything at that point, all of a sudden, Wiggles just lost it on this woman and started growling and snarling. And this woman just started running out of the store, literally. I never saw the woman again. And, we're doing just fine. The healthy diet has really helped her. We play all the time. She goes on walks all the time. And I personally haven't seen any allergies. But like I said, I think the healthy diet has definitely made a difference, and the exercise has definitely made a difference. She gets a lot of love and a lot of attention, and that makes a difference in our health as well. And I've never been happier with my friendship with Wiggles. Honestly, it just grows every day, and we we definitely needed each other. And for that woman, if for any reason she ever watches this, please send me a message. Ask any questions you like, and if you can remember any allergies or anything about her, that would be so helpful. And I want to thank everybody for watching our story, and I really hope that you enjoyed our story, Wiggles story, shall I say. And this channel, this community is all about long form videos of our adventures and us healing one step at a time. So until our next video, take care, stay safe. We'll see you very soon. Love you guys. And for anyone curious, it only cost $25, and that was adoption with spay or neutering surgery and chip as well.